Alright, my first and last time snowboarding. If you're ready for a calamity of mishaps, hijinks, and errors, then you are in the right place. I promise you that. So, if you want to come along on this ride with me, um, I'd be more than happy for you to accompany me, whether you are returning and I want to say thanks for returning, or if it's your first time, then I want to say welcome. Browse my channel, see what you like. I'm sure there's got to be something. I have too many videos for you to not find something. So, anyways, um, yeah, I'm gonna get right into it. So, first and last time snowboarding. This was my senior year of high school, so 2011. Okay. It was probably around this time of the year, to be honest with you. It was like around like the winter time. So me, I'm a California kid. I've like gone surfing like a handful of times in Mexico. I've always been a skateboarder. I've always been like an outdoors kind of kid, person, whatever. But snowboarding, there's no snow. Like, I don't know about the equipment. I don't know. I don't like the feeling of like my feet being locked into a position. A skateboard, you can kick out and whatever and land. I just don't like committing that much. Like, I'm just not good with commitment. Let's just keep it simple in general, man. You know, I'm sure that's super makes the ladies moist. I bet. Um, so, anyways, not like there's any ladies watching my fucking shit, anyways. So, I decide, like, I'm going to Redondo at the time, which is a much more privileged school than the other two that I went to. And, for them, it's like going up to the snow and going, like, they have snowboards, they have equipment, they have, like, I don't know, stuff like that, like where I just, I'm not prepared to like go out into the winter. Like when I went to Yellowstone, I wore Vans Classics and like I just was like, I'll just wear two pairs of socks. And I was in like 5-degree weather. Like I was freezing my ass off up there. I was so unprepared and like the dead ass. Like my phone didn't even work because that's how cold it was. Like, and I just was not prepared. So anyways, I get invited. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna go snowboarding, blah blah blah. We have a spot in the car, and it's like, so it's like half Redondo kids, but then one of the kids from Redondo, my homie Sam, he got kicked out. Him and another homie and me, we all got kicked out of our schools and sent to Redondo at the same time. It's really weird. And me and this guy Sam had like a couple classes together. I didn't have any classes with the other guy, but I knew him through like a grade school homie was our mutual friend. And he went to school really close by me. So it was really weird how we were really tight, like us three. And I don't know if it's because we bonded from not like actually being from the school or whatever, but like we were just always together. So we decide that we're gonna go snowboarding. More than they decide, and they're like, I say that I'll go. So it's really like me, Sam, and then he still had like a couple friends that went to Miracosta, and that was the school he came from. And then I didn't, I was just the Redondo person, and then so was my other homie. He was the Redondo person, and then Sam, and then there was like the rest of the car were people from like Miracosta, which was just like two people, like the driver and like someone else. And I can remember the night before we went, this guy had such a nice house, nicest house I've ever been to in my entire life. And there was like 12 people at his house, and we all did acid. And I swear it was crazy that like we were in one house and there was like more than 10 of us, but the house was so big, like literally there was an elevator. it was so big that like you wouldn't see somebody for like 2 hours, and you'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, maybe it was just me like being tripped out, but like it was just weird to like not see somebody and be like, oh shit, I was wondering what you were doing for the last 3 hours. Like like I don't know, it was just is to this day easily the nicest house I've ever been to. Right by the beach, right, like literally you could smell the ocean. You could walk to the ocean in 30 seconds, maybe even less than that. So we're there, and we're like we're just there, and we're kind of like partying and whatever. People are coming over, and like that's where we're gonna stay the night there and then leave in the morning because they're gonna go to shit, was it Big Bear or Mountain High? One of the two. I think I want to say it was Big Bear. But what it was, and I didn't know this until I'll wait till we get there. So we're going, and like it was last minute, so we didn't have a whole lot of supplies, but we pretty much all had enough weed for like one blunt. And I can remember on the way up, we were driving a Suburban, and like we had somebody laying in the back. Like that's how full the car was. Somebody was just laying in the back. And I remember everybody smoked their blunt like beforehand on the way up when like it was all twisty and turvy and whatever. If that gives you a clue of if it's one or the other, I'm pretty sure it was Big Bear, and they kept saying Bear. So they all spark up their blunts except me. And I'm like, yo, like, I don't know. I've never been snowboarding. I feel like at the end of the day of whatever I'm doing, I'm going to want that blunt. And goddamn, I was right. So, anyways, they were saying like, all right, well, just remember that, like, don't be asking any of us, like literally, like they all, like, I don't know why they all felt the need to be like, well, if you ask me for a hit, like, I'm gonna ask you for a hit. And I made sure to not ask them for a hit specifically because of that, because I wanted it all to myself, because I just had a feeling I was about to get broke off, because I was gonna give it everything I got, and I never been snowboarding before at all, you know. So, you know, we finally get there. We get there, and like, everything's cool. And we get like passes, and there's a little like lodge, and like I borrow stuff from the guy who has a lot of money, like his family's rich. So I borrow like a really nice, like the snow jacket I used was like a $200 jacket. It still had the sticker on it and stuff. Like I was sweating. I was hot. Like the sun was out. But when we get there, I see that there's a machine, and the machine is making the snow. So it's not even like there was a downfall of snow. Like it was just a machine that was making it, and that shit was hard as a rock. It was so hard, like it was not forgiving at all. Straight unforgivable, like on some chicken and fries or fucking some waffle fries type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, um, had a brain fart there for a second. So, anyways, like we're they're making the snow, and I'm feeling it, and like we're like fucking around making snowballs and stuff, whatever. And it's not even a snowball; it's just straight ice. It's just like straight up ice, like fucking rock. And like it's not even fun to throw it at someone. Honestly, it's like feels like it's about to be a fucking assault or something. So we start out by doing the bunny slope. I think that's what it's called, the bunny slope, like the beginner. Because I'm like, yo, I've never done this before. Like, come on. Like, so we did the bunny slope. And then that was when I noticed how there's the squares that are like targets for people who are drinking. And then it's basically a target for them to like throw their beer away. And I just thought that was kind of funny that like it's set up like that, like that it's like a game to like they know people are fucking wasted, like riding their snowboards and shit. And some of the shit I saw people in, for me being a first timer, I'm seeing dudes wearing like basketball jerseys, like literally basketball jerseys, and like fucking shorts, and like no socks. And I'm just like, dude, like there's snow everywhere. Like, are you serious? But like when I would see them like move, I was like, damn, like they're so smooth with it and everything. I was jealous for sure, but like it was definitely like swaggy, like for sure. Like to see somebody like so confident like that, to just be like their elbows are down and they're just kind of like don't even come close to like, they could spray you with like ice in your face before they spray any on themselves. You know what I'm saying? So even when I'm going down the bunny slope, I'm like trying to get, my homies telling me, stay on the edges, whether you're on the front edge or you're on the back edge. Just make sure you're on this, like one of the edges, or else you're going to just go straight and you're going to get speed. And I was like, okay. And then as soon as I said okay, I forgot everything that he just told me. So I can remember more of South Park when the guy goes, if you pizza when you're gonna French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. I kept thinking that. I kept thinking, don't pizza when you're gonna French fry. Fucking South Park. But anyways, so I'm like going down and like I don't even know what to say. Like when I'm playing golf, I know to say four. I'm trying to say excuse me. Like, and there's people that like, let's say someone maybe fell down and like their kid fell down or whatever, and they're sitting there with them or whatever, and then here I come going like fucking like 30 or 40 miles an hour, and I'm just plowing into the back of them, just fucking destroying. Like that happened to me like probably like 10 times, and I know for a fact that I was starting to piss people off, like for sure. Like they would be like, it's fine, it's okay, like, the first time of course it's okay, and then like the like third time they're kind of like they don't say as much, and then like the more times you go, you can just feel the tension getting like tougher and tougher, and like, so what ends up happening is I do get the hang of it after a second, and I make it down the bunny hill, and I'm all stoked. I'm all, yeah, fuck yeah, I can snowboard, you know. And I like understand the edges. I almost went off the mountain. That shit was scary as fuck. But like I understood like how to like go like zigzag, and like it slows you down, and it kind of like you can control it with the edges. Like it started to make sense to me. So these motherfuckers, my homie Sam, and I'm pretty sure it was the homie Dakota, they know exactly what they did. Fuck you guys, man. They're like, oh yeah, so you want to go up on this trail with us? I'm like, sure. Like, what kind is it? And they're like, oh, it's pretty mellow. Just like everybody, goes down it, whatever. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And we're going, and we get on the ski lift, and like, we're just like talking, whatever, and we're talking, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going, and we're talking, and we're talking, and we keep seeing those trash can Target things, and then I'm like, yo, where are we going? And then I feel like we either got off and got on another one that went further down, or the same one we were on just kept going. I don't remember, but one of the two. So, like, we just like keep going and keep going, and then it finally ends. And when it ends, I can see that literally it goes like from where like the thing spins around and it kind of spits you out, and it's like maybe 10, 15 feet straight, and then it's just a wall that goes down vertically, like fucking like almost like 90 degrees, like damn near 90 degrees. And like we're far from the entrance, like that we were on the ski lift for like 10 minutes, dude. Like that shit was a long time. So I'm like, ah, shit, like what am I gonna do here? And of course the guys that I went up there with, they immediately just start ripping because they snowboard all the time and shit. So they're just like on some rocket power shit, like woogity woogity. No, they didn't woogity woogity, but really on some rocket power shit. Like they just like all of a sudden just boom, and then all of a sudden I'm standing up there on the mountain, just like, damn. Like I'm looking down, it's literally like dropping in on a half pipe, and I'm not good at that. Like I'm good at skating like street stuff, curves, ledges, stairs. not dropping in. Never have been good with commitment. Once again, coming up again, getting those ladies super, randy with that. So, anyways, I'm like, I look down and I just like think to myself, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care how I look. I'm gonna go down on this whole run, sliding down on my ass. I don't care how it looks. Cause I knew like I think one of my homies told me that they were like, yeah, if you think you're gonna fall or whatever, just lean all the way back and just lean all the way back, and then you'll like end up, your board will kind of get into the snow and whatever, and like you'll stop. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna try to do that for as long as I possibly fucking can, and then maybe if there's some parts along the way that I can go straight, I will. But for the most part, I'm sliding down on my butt on this bitch. So that's exactly what I did, and I was by myself too. So there were certain parts that like I didn't even know where the fuck I was going. Honestly, like I mean, there was like, it was, there was people going around me, and I'm sure that everyone was looking at me like, look at this guy, like probably laughing at me from the ski lift, and probably like even just, I don't even know, like going down the mountain, like, did you see that guy? Like, I don't know, but I don't care. And so it ended up like taking me probably an extra like at least 20 minutes, or like probably more closer like to an hour than 20 minutes. 20 minutes probably makes it is way more gracious period of time, like in my own words. But I finally end up meeting back up with them, and they like literally as soon as I came up, like, and I'm walking up to them, I'm shaking my head and I'm like, "Fuck you guys, man!" But I'm laughing at the same time. I'm like, "Man, fuck you guys," and they're laughing like they're trying hard, like they're trying not to laugh. And then I was like, "Oh, a super mellow track, huh? Super mellow that just like everybody does their first time, huh? Yeah." And like, they start laughing and all that, and like I don't care, it was funny, like I love being sarcastic like that. And like, honestly, that was like towards the end of the day. I think a couple of them were still like doing runs and stuff, but like for the most part, like I was done and someone else was done, so like we kind of just kicked it on this little like benches area where there's like a loft that's right before like the runs and shit. Once again, can't remember if it was Mount High or Big Bear. Can't remember. So we end up like packing it up for the day, putting all the stuff back like together, like on one of those roof things for the Jeep or for the Suburban. And he has one of those like things that it looks like a wave runner goes in it, but it's just for like storage. And we like put everything in it, put everything in the car. And the most ironic shit is like we're in the car and I'm laying down in the back seat of the car. Like I'm straight up laying down, and I was so sore. Like I had never been so sore in my fucking life. And like we ended up like it's like I stayed the night at his house, woke up, we went snowboarding, then we drove back, stayed the night, and then woke up and left. Okay, so that's like the timeline. So when we're on the way home, everybody's beat. Nobody's really talking. Like there's not even music playing, I don't think. And of course, I pull out my blunt. And like this was the moment I was waiting for, that I had a feeling that I was going to want to smoke this blunt on the way home instead of on the way there, and snowboard high and think of like overthink it and not have fun and whatever, like because I had a feeling that was going to happen to me. I wanted to smoke it on the way home of just like chilling. And I shit you not, I spark up my blunt. Every single person in that car asked me to hit my blunt. Oh, when we get home, I'll do this. Oh, I'll give you that. And I was just like, I don't care what you're gonna give me, man. I was like, I feel like I just got fucking thrown against a wall, like fucking one of those things that sticks and like slimes down. I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to share this with nobody. Like, I've been waiting all day to smoke this. I had a feeling that I was about to get my ass kicked, and I was right. So, like, it is like, sorry, I said I wasn't gonna share. Like, it's not like it came out of nowhere, and it's not like they didn't share with me. They made it very clear, but they were like, oh, we're all beat, we're all tired, I let you borrow this, I let you, I'll give you this when we get back, like all these fucking, split hairs start coming out the woodwork, and it's just like, it doesn't work like that. Not with me, at least. Maybe with someone else, but people try that shit way too much for that to, like, be a thing. So, anyways, we get back and it takes a couple hours to drive back. It's already like starting to get dark when we left. So it was nighttime when we got back, and I can remember like going to sleep, getting home, and we maybe like smoked a couple bowls or cigarettes or whatever, but for the most part like we were still okay, but and like we were drinking or whatever, but like we went to sleep. The next day that I woke up, I've never been that sore in my entire life to this day. And this happened like almost 20 years ago. Like, I was sore in places that I didn't even know were like places on my body in general, like at all. Like, it baffled me. Like, honestly, it baffled me on how I was so sore in some of these places of just like, how does that even happen? Like, I didn't understand. And like, I talked to a couple people and they were just saying like, yeah, man, like your body, when you're strapped into the snowboard, it moves like ligaments and other things that aren't used to moving and whatever. And depending, I was eating shit all over the place, like literally I was just falling this way, falling that way, falling this way. I got a couple runs down the bunny hill. A couple runs down the bunny hill were successful, but nothing special. And then my big debut with the double black diamond, which I found it is like one of the hardest fucking tracks. It's like a master pro level, or like a some kind of gnarly level like that, like where you have to like know what you're doing to do that. So I definitely shouldn't have been up there on my first day, barely getting by the bunny hill, but there I was, and I kind of did it. I mean, I wouldn't count as I did it, but I slid down it. So, whatever. I can understand, like I'm a good sport about shit like that. It's not like I was pissed or anything. It was just like whatever. It was more funny than anything. And my homie Sam was always doing funny shit like that, like to the point where it was just like this fool would do some shit. Like he would send you so many text messages that your phone would die. Shit like that. I don't know if you've ever had a friend like that would just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste till it's like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and they just paste, 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 and your phone's just ringing and ringing and ringing until it dies. That was the homie that Sam was, like straight up. But like I love him for that. Like it was always jokes. It was always fun. Like I fucking wish that I seen him more and shit. But I see him doing good out there. He's got his own like company and all this stuff. And I have seen him from time to time. But you know, I always hope that certain people are doing good and everything. And I don't keep in touch enough. But you know, it is what it is. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. Even though last year's New Year's resolution was be more patient, and then 4 days later I got into a car accident which broke my foot and my wrist, which is why my wrist has this like popping out thing right here that's not supposed to be there. I didn't even realize you could see it that well on camera. But like my I never make New Year's resolutions. My one New Year's resolution was being more patient. And then like literally something happened that was really fucking bad that I've already, my girl passed away. I've already talked about it. And then 4 days later, or that was on the 28th, so, you know, a week later, I get into an accident where I almost die, and then I get put in this cast for my wrist and for my foot, which I'm still going to physical therapy to this day. Like, I got to go tomorrow, and I already went on Monday. So, just saying, like, I stay doing that shit. I've been doing this since January. It's crazy. So, enough with my little life update or whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, you know, that was the story of my first time and my last time going snowboarding. I did not want to go buy a bunch of merch and like all these, like a snowboard and fucking pads and boots and straps and whatever they need. Like, I don't know. Skateboarding was already enough of an expensive habit, and I would break a skateboard in like a day or two or something. Like, I really needed a sponsorship when it came to that shit, just of how fast I went through boards. But snowboarding, I would end up with like a broken back or something like gnarly. I would be like paralyzed. I would try to do something stupid, and I just know that that would happen to me. So, and there's no snow around here anyways. You got to drive to it. It's not even real snow. That snow was like getting punched in the fucking face. I swear to God, it was not snow. It was ice. It was not like, oh, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Like, you dive into the snow and you like can make a angel. Like, that shit was like, it felt like the pavement, dude. Like, I swear to God. So, anyways, I've never gone after that. Never had any motivation to go. I don't like being cold. You see me doing videos in my like jacket and my little like Russian hat type thing. It's because it's that cold in my room. I'm not even exaggerating or trying to do like a character or something. Like, I sleep in that stuff. Like, my room is that cold. I made a short about it. Like, literally called "I'm freezing my tits off" or something like that. So, like, I'm cold up here. Like, best believe. I've seen my breath in my room. So it keeps me warm to be telling these stories. Like I said, you guys are like the gasoline. It keeps my fire going to keep telling these things. And I'm glad. And I like doing it. And hopefully you guys like listening to them. And hopefully they're not boring and run of the mill or whatever. Because I don't think they are. But only you can be the judge of that. So, anyways, hope you guys like the story, and I hope you guys have a nice week. Deuces.